Hello everyone, we're back here with another vlog. I hope you guys are getting geared up for the snowmobile season. We just got dumping last night of a few inches, but still not quite enough to take these sleds out. However, I'm gonna make a vlog today going over some of the key points and basically going over the overview of how to plan a snowmobile trip thoroughly. There's about 7 steps with a few tips at the end that I wanna go over, basically telling the viewers and the audience and everyone out there that's watching this video how to plan a safe, fun sled trip and how you can prepare for a sled trip beforehand and make it a lot more time effective, fun, efficient, all that great stuff. So stick around for the whole video and please subscribe to this channel. Some of you are starting to subscribe a lot more to these videos that I'm posting. So if you're wanting more snowmobile videos and you're after that type of content, subscribe to my channel right now and stay tuned for more snowmobile vlogs. First on the list of the 7 or so key steps to planning a snowmobile trip, the first is decide on what general vicinity you want to go. What area are you wanting to travel to? Now, this may depend on where the snow is. This may depend on what specific trails you want to ride, if there's a certain town. For me, given where I live in Southern Ontario, I cannot take out my sled right now and log on 100 kilometers where I live because the trails aren't open yet. However, they're opening up north. So for where I am right now, me deciding where I need to go for a snowmobile trip basically isn't up to me. It's up to where the trails are open. It's basically up to where the trails are open, and that's where I have to go for that. However, number 2 on the list is look at a trail map, find the good trails, and when you find the good trails after looking at a trail map, look at the accommodations, look at the fuel stops, look at the gas, look at what you're working with within those trails. If you're going to a certain town like North Bay, okay, well, you got to figure out how are the trails looking. Maybe look at some Facebook posts or the grooming snowmobile clubs, the photos they've been posting, and then once you understand after looking at a trail map, kind of where things are at in that area, then you can go on to step number 3, which is planning for the food and fuel, which is kind of in sync with step 2, but basically, when you're going on a sled trip, planning and just having a general idea as to where you can stop for food and where you're gonna have to go for fuel is crucial in a lot of the times, because when you're on a trail for 3 or 4 hours, you need to know exactly where the next fuel stop is. Otherwise, you're shit out of luck when there's no fuel and you're out of gas. 4th is booking the motel/hotel/Airbnb ahead of time. Don't do it when you're up there. Don't pull into a motel or a hotel late at night thinking that you're gonna have a spot for sure, especially during COVID and these uncertain times with capacities of hotels and motels. Your best bet is to book at least a day to 2 days in advance, so you know you have a place to stay at night. That's rule number 4. That's a pretty big one. Number 5 is looking at the weather network before your trip. And why this is important is because you can anticipate what your trip's going to be like. If they get hammered with snow the 2 or 3 days before your trip, you're gonna be psyched, because obviously the more snow the better. If they're calling for ice, then you're gonna have to bring a rain jacket, different visors, things of that nature. So looking ahead in time and checking what the weather network is gonna be like, what the forecast is like, can definitely alter your trip. So plan for it and be prepared by checking the weather network ahead of time. So after you have decided where you're gonna go, you've looked at the trail map, you've planned out the trip with food and fuel, you've booked your hotel, you've looked at the weather network, it's time to pack your bags. So what is important with packing bags is obviously making sure you carry extra gloves, balaclava, socks, all that good stuff. And yeah, hoodies, anything you want to wear extra during the next day of snowmobiling. But it's also very, very important to carry a first aid kit if you're going on a trip and you're staying in a different motel every night and you're not coming back to a home base and you're traveling around a loop, and on that loop you're staying in different places and different accommodations. That's when it's most important to make sure you have all the essentials on you. Also, including in that is tools to do minor repair, spark plug changers, changing your belt, anything of that nature. Carry a few tools with you, just in case things happen to your sled. You want to be able to tackle a minor repair if needed. Number 7, and this is a personal preference, but it's maybe the most important one on the list in my opinion, is inspecting your sled and looking it over. You have to think to yourself, is my sled capable of putting on 100 to 1,000 kilometers in this trip? Basically going over and make sure everything is running in top notch. Me, for example, I just did a power valve on this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm taking this sled north in about a week's time after Christmas. And, the fact that there's no snow outside, I can't rip around on it to make sure it's good. But I'm starting it up, letting it run for 20 minutes, getting it real warm, then turning it off, making sure this sled is running okay, making sure all the parts on it are good, you know, all that fine dandy stuff. Make sure your sled's in good condition before you log on 1,000 miles. Lastly, and these are things to consider, personal preferences of mine, tips, whatever you want to call them, but they're pretty key when booking a snowmobile trip and going on a snowmobile trip. Number one is thinking about how many hours do you want to ride in a day? How many kilometers do you want to put on? You know, how comfortable am I putting on 75 or 150 kilometers a day? Do I want to ride fast or enjoy the scenery, take my time? That will be a focal point for the rest of the trip, deciding how many hours you want to ride in a day and what your riding style is going to be like. Number two is notify someone outside of your group, a friend, a family member, anyone that's not snowmobiling with you, what your plans are so they can kind of expect to hear from you or see you next. And the third and final tip is ride with a buddy. You know, you hear swim with a buddy, ride with a buddy, it's always best, especially when you're going out of your normal territory, out of your home base, home waters, and you're traveling maybe north to go snowmobiling. Having a friend, two friends is good. The more the merrier with snowmobiling, so make sure you travel with some friends, a buddy, and have fun and stay safe out there. This concludes the video. Let me know in the comments below if I've missed anything. If you guys do anything differently than me, I'll respond to every comment. And yeah, go over them real quick. Number one, decide where you want to snowmobile to. Number two, look at the trail map and assess the conditions, accommodations, and everything in that area. Number three, plan the trip with food and fuel. Number four, book the hotels. Number five, check the weather network and the conditions that you're going to be riding in. Number six, pack your bags smartly. Number seven, inspect the sled. Those are the seven steps. You guys may have different ones. Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to this channel. More snowmobile trips coming up. And stay safe out there. Have fun, guys.